Whether it's the real world or the virtual one in video games, money makes the world go round. Luckily, get-rich-fast schemes exist in plenty of video games, and unlike their real-life counterparts, they actually work. So if you're not afraid of messing around with the game's economy a bit, and the hole in your heart can only be filled with shiny coins, here are some quick and easy exploits made especially for you. I'm Jess from WhatCulture, and here are 10 video game exploits for getting rich fast. Number 10. Underwater Briefcase, Grand Theft Auto 5. Earning money in the early stages of Grand Theft Auto 5 can be a hassle. Until you finish your first heist, your best bets are killing random civilians and completing missions, which don't bring in a lot of profit. Well, if you don't want to wait to start recklessly spending your funds on random things, there's actually a quick and easy exploit that can earn you an infinite amount of money. And best of all, it can be done as early as the first act in the game. To make the exploit work, you need to unlock the ability to switch characters after the mission complications. After you can switch between Michael and Franklin seamlessly, you want to take one of them to an underwater money briefcase, which is hidden off the northwestern shore of Los Santos. The stash will net you a few grand, but this is actually where the exploit is only starting. Once you claim the case, you want to immediately switch characters and then do it again, which will cause the briefcase to instantly reappear on top of your character. Now just rinse and repeat until you're a millionaire, and neither Michael nor Franklin have a reason to go heisting anymore. Number 9. Hanging Trap Glitch, Palworld. Palworld, or Pokemon with Guns as it's commonly referred to, is a game that requires hours of grinding and collecting resources if you want to build the best base and make your pals stronger. One of the resources you need is gold, but thankfully the Palworld community has found a much faster and possibly more ethical method of earning it than scavenging the wilds and selling your adorable gun wielders away. The method is an exploit that incorporates the hanging trap and one of Palworld's morally dubious NPCs, the Black Marketeer, who sells and buys rare pals. Attacking and defeating the Marketeer can yield a lot of gold, but because he's near impossible to beat at early levels, you need an exploit to take him down. More precisely, a level 4 hanging trap. The trap can be set next to the Marketeer spawn locations to immobilize him and let you beat him down without any resistance. After you kill him and loot him, you can then close the game and reload your save file to make him respawn near the trap and turn the game's equivalent of a slaver into a money-printing punching bag. What a nice reward for keeping your island free of criminals. Number 8. Lockbox Glitch, Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2's story, in a nutshell, is a tale of going on more dangerous and disastrous heists in order to fuel Dutch's never-ending need for cash. This said, who needs life-threatening robberies when you can learn how to spawn infinite gold bars out of thin air? In Red Dead Redemption, there are about 11 lockboxes containing valuables like gold bars and jewels. The boxes can actually be glitched to spawn their goodies for you indefinitely. To do so, you need to pause the game as soon as you finish grabbing the loot from the lockbox, then save your game and quit to the menu screen. Once you load up the save again, the contents of the box will reappear, and you can repeat that process as many times as you like. Just a couple of minutes with the right box lets you get away with a few gold bars and rupees, so if Dutch ever gets cranky about the lack of funds, or you just want to buy some fancy clothes, guns, and horses, make sure to consult your local lockbox. Number 7. Insider Trading, City Skylines. City Skylines requires immense amounts of cash to fund all the projects and mega buildings you want to add to your city. It usually takes just an equally large amount of time to gather said cash, but there is one neat little exploit that can make you rich in a matter of seconds: insider trading. Unlike its real-life counterpart, the art of influencing the free market is a perfectly legal and easy thing to do in the game. All you need is a stock exchange building and an adequately developed industry district in your city that you can purchase stocks in. After you put down all the buildings you need, getting an infinite supply of instant cash is as simple as cutting all funds to your industry, waiting for its stocks to drop in value, then raising the industry's funding to a maximum so your dirt cheap stocks suddenly become worth tenfold of their original value. This method can rake in millions of dollars in a matter of seconds, and there's virtually no downside to using it in your city, so feel free to abuse it to your heart's content. Just remember, don't use that in real life, it's just for the game. Number 6. Renting vacant homes. Fable. Morality is a huge part of Fable. Everything you do in the game affects how good or evil your character is. Each side of the moral spectrum comes with its fair share of unique rewards, but if you're looking to get filthy rich, the evil route is the way to go. You probably saw that coming. Not because of any rewards, mind you, but simply due to an exploit that allows you to endlessly profit from people's misery. Just like the real world. The exploit utilizes Fable's property mechanic, in which you can actually own most of the homes on the map. Normally, purchasing a house takes a willing owner, but with the power of a hostile takeover, aka luring the house residents out of town and then killing them, you can buy their house and then start renting it for instant cash. After you manage to turn entire communities into blood-soaked B&Bs, the rent will rack up huge amounts of gold in no time. Best of all, you can kick off your real estate empire as early as your childhood years, because true entrepreneurs start early. Number 5. Gold digging. Sims 4. When it comes to money in Sims 4, getting an infinite supply of it is as easy as using the cheat menu and typing in motherlode for an instant 50,000 simoleons in your household's budget. Or with the first game, it was clapacious, if you're old enough to remember that. However, if for whatever reason cheating is really not your thing, there is a legitimate, though still quite cheesy way of turning your sim into a millionaire, and that's gold digging. By wooing and then marrying a rich sim, your family can instantly join the lifestyle of the 1%, as marriage shares your spouse's wealth with your household and gives you access to their expensively decorated mansion. The process of romancing a rich person is really easy, especially in Sims 4, where just a few flirty interactions can make two Sims fall in love. After you convince the rich Sim to marry you, you have a few options as to how to proceed. You can keep your spouse around, divorce them for an even bigger share of their simoleons, or kill them to get all of their belongings. Choosing either of those last two options opens up opportunities to get even more rich future ex-spouses. So if you value money over love, make sure to always keep your Sims partner prospects open. Number 4. Sheep farming. The Witcher 3. Back in the day, the most efficient way of earning money in The Witcher 3 was killing the cows in White Orchard and selling their hides for infinite profit. Unfortunately, this strategy was nipped in the bud once Setter Projekt Red caught wind of it and added an overpowered chort that attacks you when you kill too many of his bovine friends. For this reason, if you want to earn some crowns nowadays, you need to turn your attention to the sheep. Yes, the new generation of Witcher 3 exploiters prefer lamb over beef, as they're just as easy to farm for sellable resources, and unlike cows, they aren't protected by a giant moo demon. You do have to wait a bit longer to find spots with farmable sheep, but once you do, the process is actually faster. Unlike cows, most sheep herds don't require you to meditate to respawn, so even just 10 minutes of sniping them with a crossbow can earn you hundreds of skins to sell. The best places to farm sheep are Downwarren and Velen and the pastures on Skellige. So if you ever feel like slaughtering monsters isn't very sustainable, remember, being a sheep butcher is a far more profitable profession. Number 3. Item replication. Starfield. Starfield, for all of its upgraded engine and sci-fi setting, plays just like any other Bethesda game, and that means it's gonna have a few bugs. As of 2024, the most efficient way of earning money is with the item replication exploit, as it can be done as soon as you finish the game's intro. To get the exploit to work, you first need to travel to New Atlantis on Jemison and head to the UC's weapon testing facility in the Mast District. Before you enter the facility, set your game difficulty to very hard to increase the spawn rate of rare items. Then open all the weapon caches in the room without stealing the weapons inside. Then wait 24 hours or 1 real-world minute in the lobby below. The open cache will spawn additional weapons, including rare and legendary ones, for each 48 hours you wait. Once you replicate enough of them, you can steal them all and sell them at the den for a ton of credits. And if you ever need more, you just need to wait a bit. After you're finished, you should be the richest weapons peddler in the whole galaxy. Number 2. Junk selling. Cyberpunk 2077. After years of patches and a DLC that completely redefined most of its gameplay, Cyberpunk 2077 has finally managed to address most of its most irritating bugs and performance issues. This said, version 2.0 of Cyberpunk comes with some brand new glitches that have never been seen before, and the infinite money junk selling exploit is probably the most fun of them all. The glitch can be triggered when you sell any stack of junk items to any vendor in the game. To activate it, you need to hold the Sell All button and simultaneously sell all but one junk item from a stack of your choice. If done correctly, the game will sell the selected stack for its full price, but keep one junk item behind. After that, you can buy the stack back and repeat the whole process until you multiply enough sellable items to make millions of eddies in one go. The method is fast, efficient, and surprisingly enough, somewhat lore-friendly. After all, in the futuristic capitalist dystopia of Night City, hackers utilizing glitches in the system to make extra cash are a pretty common occurrence. Number 1. Stealing from Volo, Baldur's Gate 3. Due to the frequent patches and updates to Baldur's Gate 3, a lot of the game's most effective money exploits have been removed. Luckily, some of them are a natural part of the game's mechanics, so an exploit like the following Volo one isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Volo, a legendary bard in Dungeons & Dragons and Baldur's Gate alike, has a side quest that causes him to appear in your camp. Just like most other NPCs, he can be traded for basic resources, but unlike other NPCs, he's the only merchant who can appear in your camp, the only place where the only guard around is you. Put the 2 and 2 together and suddenly you can rob Volo of his gold and valuables with no consequences for failing your sleight of hand checks whatsoever. Once Volo's pockets are empty, you can reset his equipment by taking a long rest, which in turn will allow you to steal his gold indefinitely. While you will want to be a little careful, as sometimes long resting can move the story along further than you'd like, you don't have to worry about wasting your camp supplies, as Volo will always spawn with fresh ones, for sale. And if you ever feel guilty about doing it, just remember Volo's perfectly fine with taking out your eye with his lousy surgical skills.